Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Too Opinionated. I'm so excited today. I've got one of my favorite actresses, Jennifer Spence, with me. So welcome, Jennifer.
Thank you.
I see you've got Jen on your name, so I'm assuming that you.
Right.
Your friends call you Jen.
Yeah, most people call me Jen. I just never changed it professionally to Jen, but like for some reason, no matter who they are, people from all different parts of my life, they always call me Jen Spence. Jen Spence. I guess it rhymes or something. So it's just like maybe I should change it.
All of my friends named Jennifer, and I've got a cousin named Jennifer. They're all Jen. They call them all Jen. I don't know why. I'm a Michael, but everybody calls me Mike. Nobody. Yeah. My mother calls me Michael.
Michael, if you're in trouble.
If I'm in trouble, that's usually the only time I get Michael.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I feel like whenever I hear Jennifer, it's like doctor's office or
right. What have I done? Well, thank you so much for doing this. So excited to talk to you. This is a fun day for me because you've done, and we'll get into it, but you've done, you can figure out that I'm a little nerdy. You've done a lot of nerdy shows.
Yeah. Vancouver's got a lot of nerdy shows for sure.
I know. I need to visit Vancouver.
You totally.
When's the time? What's the? Yeah.
Summertime. Yeah.
Summertime's the best time. No, like, I know.
Fall through spring. Actually, no, spring can be really lovely, but it's hit and miss. Whereas summer, it's glorious. Yeah. Absolutely glorious.
I need to get up there.
Yeah.
I think that's up there. Yeah. I'm always mixed up on where I'm going. Yeah, that's up
there. Yeah.
Do you still have 4 seasons?
We do, but our winters aren't as harsh as like back east in Eastern Canada. Yeah. Well, everything's east of us in Vancouver, but the further east you go, the sort of worse it gets in terms of snow dumps and minus 60 kind of.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Thank you. Because we're down to, we've got like 2 main seasons and then a couple quick ones. Like spring and fall are very quick.
Yeah.
But and then used to be that way. It used to be very, you kind of get a nice season each one. Now it's like winter and summer are very long. Both of them. You get sick of both by the end of it.
Right. Just want a little bit of variety.
Yeah. Mix it up a little bit. 75 with a little breeze. That's all I'm asking.
I know. That's like the hot spot, the sweet spot rather, right? Like
that's LA is what that is.
Yeah. But then they don't have any seasons, right?
So, no, they have none. But I guess I would take that.
Yeah.
If it stayed 75 and sunny and that was the trade-off, I'd take that.
Yeah.
You can always go visit somewhere if you wanted snow.
That's true. Yeah, if you really want the snow, if you really miss it. I don't know who that is, but I guess I'm a skier, but
do you ski?
Not at all. I'm a nerd. Like I don't do sports. Not coordinated. No.
Not doing a lot of your own stunts. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. Can't you tell? I don't ski. I mean, I tried it, but
that's me. I've tried that.
Yeah.
I always felt like maybe I could if I put some effort into it.
Yeah.
But if you go once every 10 years, that's probably not going to do it.
Yeah. You got to give it a good shot, a good.
Like my wife and I, we went to a ski resort last winter. Yeah. We're like, we're going to go. And we did the, it's basically like you're on a sled. The tubing. We're on the tubes.
Yeah.
But we did that. We did no skiing. And we were up there for like the weekend. We did a night of tubing. That was enough. And then the rest of the time we just hung out in the lodge and ate.
But that's awesome. Like
it was pretty nice.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
You just watched everybody else.
Is that what they call it? Right? It's like, let a fire and drink a cider with,
It was pretty nice. I mean, we felt miserable once we got home because we've just been eating and drinking all weekend.
But it
was nice at the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Always worth to indulge.
Okay, so let's start here. So talk a little bit about, you're not athletic, I know that. So talk a little bit about how you got into entertainment and what made you want to become an actress.
Yeah, well, I'd taken, I guess, yeah, because I wasn't athletic at all. I was doing sort of more music stuff. So, like nerdy things like the recorder and the flute and,
Oh,
played piano for a while and stuff. And then I did some, uh, like went to summer camp, creative arts and crafts kind of thing and drama camp, that kind of thing. And so we're doing a production of Little Orphan Annie, and then that's when freaking production of Little Orphan Annie. But yeah, I was like, I was one of the orphans. I wasn't even Annie. It was just one of the orphans. I was cleaning the floor like during our number. I think it was It's a Hard Knock Life, and I was like washing the floor with this rag or whatever, and I like turned over the rag. So stupid. I turned over the rag because it was like, oh, that's what you would do in real life.
that's
And
right.
I remember like
That's acting.
yeah, my grandma who'd come to see it was just like, she's like, I noticed you were the only one that turned over the rag and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I'm an actor.
I was gonna say that's
well,
probably
that
when
was
you
one
knew.
of the sort of main moments where I was just like, I really like this. There's something about this that really resonates with me. And then as I got older, I did sort of community theater and stuff like that. And then I was just like, yeah, oh, are you frozen? Oh, for a second I thought you were frozen. But then I was just like, I don't care if I'm gonna, be broke or whatever. It's what I want to do. So
Yeah, that's pretty great. So you were one of the underappreciated orphans.
that's right. That's right. Truly cast aside. Truly a hard knock life. Didn't get
So
out
did
like
you did you play in the band? Were you in like the school band?
no, we like, we just had music class or whatever, but no, I was never
Yeah.
like in a school band or like marching band or whatever.
My recording career ended in the 5th grade
Oh,
when I had to choose between like all county chorus and a baseball game, and I went baseball.
yeah,
And,
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah.
I
But it was
mean,
fun till then.
yeah, you enjoyed it.
Now,
What did you
yeah,
play?
what's that?
What did you play?
I'm good. I'm going to get you. You mean the songs?
Yeah. Oh,
Or
sorry. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, I'm going to probably something like what are you playing back then? Hot cross buns or something,
Yeah, I guess
right?
so. Yeah,
Something
yeah.
like that. It would have been something. I don't know. It was for like a choral. They called it a choral festival.
Right,
So there
right.
may have been something slightly fancier in that, but I don't know. I'm enjoying because my son who helps with the podcast,
Right.
he took a music appreciation class and he had to start playing the recorder. So he's like a junior in college having to learn his recorder. It was cracking me up because he was
In
playing, hot
college.
cross. Yeah.
Interesting. Huh.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
like, that's what they're doing for music appreciation.
Money well spent.
So he's playing, and then like the grandkids are messing around with it. So I'm like, well,
Yeah.
there you go.
Because you
There you
think
go.
of it as like a children's thing,
It's like a
right?
practice instrument.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Can you still pick one up and play it?
I
No,
don't think so. Maybe like you say, hot cross buns, maybe like that kind of thing,
maybe
but,
if you gave me a 2-minute tutorial on
yeah,
where to put your fingers,
yeah,
maybe.
I could do that, but not like Bach or something.
No. Did you sing?
Yeah, I was in the choir in school, and then yeah, like enjoy karaoke and stuff. That's always a
Well,
lot of
yeah.
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. What was your first acting job, like your first paying job?
I think it was Da Vinci's Inquest, which is a Canadian
Ooh,
show created by Chris Haddock, and it was on the CBC here, and that shot in Vancouver. So I think that was my very first one, which was a great first job to have because it
yeah.
was
What was that about? Was it about Da Vinci, or was it just like, was it modern time? What
yeah.
was
Well, so Da Vinci was played by Nicholas Campbell, a
Oh,
fantastic Canadian actor, and is based all on a true story of who he later becomes um, involved in politics and but he was a coroner to begin with. So Da Vinci's Inquest was based on all his, the different
ah,
cases and people he met and the city. And there was a lot of focus on the downtown east side which is, I'm not sure if you're aware, but that's an area of our city where there's a lot of issues, a lot of addiction and mental
Oh,
illness,
no.
poverty. And so they're, one of the, if not only at the time, shows to address that. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was a very, very, revolutionary show.
So were you the killer or were you a victim?
I was a witness.
Oh, you're a witness.
Yeah, of a car accident. And yeah. So that was fun to get to do. But what was fun about it was not only the first job, but the first time I'd done a film or a, TV, something that was filmed rather than theater, that was all done in one shot. So usually, like with TV and film, you do like a number of takes for different things, and and then when they cut it all together, depending on what coverage they use, like whether it's a close-up or a long shot or whatever, it's all chopped up, and it's the machinery makes it happen, But with this, it was more like a play where we did the whole thing from start to finish. So if you screwed up, you had to start again from the beginning. Whereas, usually with film and TV, you can just take it back or start again. It's not a big deal. You know what I mean? You just like do the word over or don't even and just keep going. But
That's right.
Is like, nope, you have to go all the way back to the beginning. So if you're towards the end of that scene and you have a line and you screw it up, people are gonna be mad at you.
Well, it's kind of like, that's kind of soap opera, right? Don't they do that with soap operas?
Probably. Going. And soap operas, they only get like 1 or 2 takes, I think, right? So
yeah, it's quick.
It's
Well, that's probably, so if that was your first job, that's probably a decent first job because it teaches you to be prepared.
Absolutely. Like know your lines, so no, it was great. It was cool to have that.
So I was trying to figure out what was the first thing that I remember seeing you in. So you tell me which one of these came first, because I'm not sure of that, but they're around the same time. This is my guess. So I think the first time was in the 4400.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Because you were in a bunch of those episodes.
Yeah, I think that was the first like sci-fi.
Yeah, that's one thing, because there was True Calling, I think you made an appearance on.
Yeah, like a brief little,
yeah, but I'm thinking the 4400 came before that. They were both probably around the same time.
Yeah.
And then there was a show called Reunion that I think you made an appearance on.
That's right. Yeah. Oh wow, you
I know. I've been a fan for a little while. And this one, although I was embarrassed that I didn't remember this one because I loved the show, but my daughter says that you were on Eureka. Is that true?
Oh yeah. That was a fun one too, because I drowned in a car.
Oh yeah. So, I watched that whole series, but I just didn't recall that. But I was like, hey, that's pretty good. But she loved it. And she's not a sci-fi person at all, but she loved that show for some reason.
Yeah.
All right.
That was that went for quite a while here. So yeah.
The 4400's coming back.
I know. It's the age of redos now, right? Or what do you call it? Not redos. Reunions. What's the word?
Remakes.
Yeah, it's a something, right? But it's the age of that, isn't it? They're redoing everything. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
As a fan, it's kind of neat, but then we're very critical,
right?
Because especially if you love the show, you're excited that they're doing it again, but it has to be good, or you're really critical about it. No, I don't know. It's tough to follow a show that did well.
Yeah, and you feel protective of it too, right?
Yeah.
Really just like, why like with certain ones, right? Like I'm just trying to think if they were to like redo 6 Feet Under or something, I'd be like, no.
Oh, that'd be a tough one to redo.
I can't imagine. Just
leave
perfection.
Why don't they remake shows that should have been good but weren't?
Yeah, that's a good question. I guess for that reason, because they're like, oh, it wasn't a hit, so it won't be a hit next time. I don't know.
I know, but there's some shows that you're like, you get really excited about them coming out. It sounds like a great idea, and then for whatever reason, it just doesn't work. Why don't they remake those?
Yeah. I know.
I guess that's why.
Chance, right? You would think, but no, I guess they're just too scared. It's like, no, that didn't.
Try again.
Yeah.
I guess that's it, because there's probably only like you and me. We'd watch and check it out. Everybody else is like, what? It wasn't any good the last time. Why are we gonna watch that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We check it out.
Yeah, depending.
Well, you said you're kind of nerdy. Did you have a show when you were growing up that you kind of a nerdy show?
Well, like when I was a kid, like I loved Doctor Who. Oh, this is a nerdy
Oh.
story. I just remembered like my mom took me to the science center because I grew up in Toronto, right? So we were at an afternoon at the science center, and then we were rushing home so I could watch Doctor Who. That's
Yeah,
pretty fucking nerdy.
that's pretty nerdy. Who was your doctor?
Oh, God, what was his name? Tom Baker.
Oh, yeah. Tom Baker. That was my doctor.
Oh, he was too? Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved him. Yeah, I had one of my first crushes, I think. Yeah.
He was a good doctor.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
They used to let us, like, they would roll the big monster TV into the classroom and let us watch Doctor Who. It used to be on PBS.
Wow, they do that for you guys, hey?
Yeah. And
Wow.
they'd let us watch that one. I guess that was, at that time, it was considered educational. I don't know.
Yeah, because it's science fiction.
Science fiction, I guess.
Science is in the genre title, so yeah.
I always remember that because when I was in 5th grade, Ronald Reagan got shot. And I remember them bringing the TV into the classroom. And we watched that all day, which maybe wasn't the best thing for a bunch of 10 or 11 years. But
yeah. But it's real life, so.
Real life. But it's changed so much because now, as soon as something happens, everybody knows. You don't have to, everybody's not going to the nightly news to find out. Everybody already knows.
Yeah, you get alerts on your phone and everyone's dialed in. And
it's good and bad.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So you were on this strange show. It really wasn't strange, but it's called You, Me, Her.
Mm-hmm.
My wife and I watched it, but at the time it was kind of like now, even though it's not that long ago, now it seems like that show wouldn't be as controversial, but at the time it was kind of, it was a little spicy.
Absolutely. Yeah. It was like, I guess that really was the very beginning of, people really talking about open relationships and polyamory and, it being normalized a bit more. Right. So
right.
that really was, timing is everything. Right. And it really was at that time that people were just starting to talk about it. I remember they did a screening of it at South by Southwest in Austin, and in the audience there were questions after, and this one guy came up. I can't even remember what his question was, but he talked about that he and his wife were doing this and that they were on an app called Thrinder, like for real. So it's like, that was the only thing. I can't remember his question, but that was that it was like, we're on an app called Thrinder.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah. So it was just like, wow, this is there's
stuff going on out there. I have no idea.
Yeah. It's a big world.
Big world. We always loved you on that, my wife and I, because your facial expressions I always thought were just hilarious. You were always just had that look like, what? What are you doing?
Yeah, it is. It's still, I mean, it's, yeah, like you say, it's not as controversial as it was then, but there's still, I don't think it's completely normalized for most people, right? Like there still is judgment. There still is, like, we have friends who are in open relationships. And so there's still, I can sense that where, if you're at a dinner party or something, it's still not normalized. It's still,
no, that's right.
But it's more accepted.
That's right. I mean, if you would, like, say, if I would go to a group of my friends and I'm like, this is what's going on, mm-hmm. They'd be like, what's the matter with you?
Yeah.
They'd be shocked.
Yeah.
I think. But I also think there's probably a few of them out there would be like, no big deal. Whatever makes you happy.
Yeah.
And they'd be okay. So I don't know.
It's a tough one.
Yeah. But it was such a good show because I thought it did a good job of, it was funny in places, but it did a really good job of showing the difficulties
Mm-hmm.
that just being in that type of relationship where you're adding a person. So it's like you're, I don't know, doubling or tripling the issues that you have to deal with as a group because of this extra person.
Yeah. No, I thought I handled it really well, and nice too that it was a comedy, right? So it didn't get too dark, but that there were plenty of dramatic moments for sure. But yeah, I liked that there was not just the challenges they had within their own relationship, but the ramifications in the rest of their life, the rest of their lives, so
it was I thought it was really well done, and even dealt some with the jealousies that could occur within the three.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the three, and at times if two of them connected, maybe one felt left out, and they dealt with that a little bit. And I thought that was really well done, because that's probably what would happen.
Absolutely. I mean, I would think so, right? I mean, I'm not an expert by any means, but I think that, from what I've heard, I guess a lot of people swear that it really is about that open communication.
Yeah.
You're going to do
it. It have to be, I would think.
Everybody has to know exactly what's happening, and there's no hiding anything, and, but we did this very early on in the process, like before we even shot the first episode of the first season. We had this rehearsal process with our director, Nisha Ganatra, who's just amazing. And we did almost like theater school exercises to get to know each other, the cast. So it was just like four of us or five of us, the thruple, of course, and then, and then myself and Melanie, who was Izzy's best friend.
Yep.
So it was, and we're just doing all this exploration together, but a lot of it was almost like contact improv, where we wouldn't even be using words, but Nisha would play this beautiful music or something, and we would have to physically find our relationship, right? So that might mean, like, if say Rachel and Greg, the married couple are dancing or something, or the three of them are dancing, and then I have to try to get involved with them because I don't want them to all be dancing, then I'm on the outside, right? So it's sort of hard to explain, like you kind of have to see it.
No, I think that would I'd be very uncomfortable with that.
Yeah.
I'd have a hard time with that, but I could see where it would be beneficial, because it would, it kind of bonds you together a little bit.
Totally. It became like got really close immediately after that, because it involved a lot of trust, and because you're not using words, you're using your physical presence, and so trying to intrude, and then they're not letting you in, or it's very powerful.
How would you do that? I mean, are you just stepping in front of somebody? What?
Yeah. So for instance, if they're dancing and I'm trying to get involved, then they may block me, or they may let me in, but I don't want to go in because I don't want to encourage them, right? So it's this bizarre sort of psychological.
Well, that's how I was thinking. What if you're going to kind of block, and it just turns into now there's four of you dancing?
Yeah, right. Right. So it's complex, right? And it's something that could only truly be explored, I think, effectively through that movement rather than just talking.
Yeah, right? I do like that. That's really interesting. How did that role come about? Were you, how was that pitched to you? Were you just auditioning for it, or did somebody approach you and say, I've got this fun role for you?
No, I auditioned for it and I loved it immediately. Like, I just loved the writing and loved
such good writing.
The character, and just so good, right? And so I was just immediately drawn to it, and I just love comedy so much. So it's just like whenever there's the opportunity to do comedy, I get really excited.
Was it a Canadian show?
No, it was an American show.
That's what I thought, because was it Portland maybe?
It was supposed to be set in Portland. Yeah. So Vancouver, but supposed to be set in Portland. Created by John Scott Shepherd. And it was an American show. Yeah.
We discovered it kind of accidentally. At the time, I was running a call center for DirecTV.
Oh.
And it was one of the shows that they showed on the DirecTV channel.
Yeah, that was the only way you could get it.
Yeah, so they kind of advertised it among us so that we could push it to customers. And I was like, well, okay, I'm going to I'm gonna try it out. And then
Yeah.
we loved it. It was one of our favorite shows.
Oh, that's
We're
so
disappointed when it stopped, but it made it what, 3-4 seasons?
cool. Five seasons.
5
Yeah.
seasons. It was out for a while.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That's excellent.
That's a good run.
A series. Yeah. I mean, that's what you want. That's usually like
Yeah.
sort of the minimum you want out of a series, right? 5 seasons.
Well, I would think. It's a little different because it used to be, you would get 26 episodes a season.
For
and now
networks.
it's much smaller season. So I don't know how that works because you'd always hear you need at least 100 episodes and then they can syndicate. Well, now I don't know. Syndication doesn't matter as much anymore, but the seasons are smaller. So you might run 5 seasons. It might be 50 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's sort of more the standard now. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's better because you eliminate the filler episodes.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the story is. I mean, sometimes you're kind of left saying, "Oh, I wish they had a little longer season," but most of the time, I think you eliminate a lot of the fluff that you don't necessarily need to tell a really good story.
Yeah.
Just from a fan side.
No, I think so too. I guess it maybe sometimes it depends on the show if there's like a ton of characters or something and therefore a ton of stories.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, quality over quantity.
That's right. That's right. I don't know if you watch Game of Thrones. But
I don't. My mom
I know.
So, loves it.
Well, I was a book fan. So I was very snobbish about the show,
Yeah, oh, of course,
And so I loved it. Everybody else, I fell in love with it just like everybody did. And then I was really disappointed with the ending. But my disappointment was mostly that it just felt very rushed. They did it was like 6 episodes or something in that final season. I was like, well, if you'd done 12, maybe the story would have unfolded a little better. But what do I know?
No, but it's true. Like you think about that stuff, it's like, would it have served the story better to have it prolonged a little more? Because especially with a show like that, I would imagine where there's so many characters.
Oh, there's so many. It just felt like it was kind of you took all this time building these characters up and then you kind of rushed it at the end.
Mm-hmm.
I know sometimes you have to. You don't have a choice.
Right.
But,
yeah.
I don't know.
So they're making like prequels and stuff, aren't they?
Oh yeah, that's going to be going on for forever. Poor George. Poor rich George. he just couldn't write fast enough.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's everybody gives him a hard time, but I'm like, well, what would you do? You're writing this series and it's doing okay. It's popular among certain fans, but then HBO comes and just signs a check.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, what would you do? Of course you'd take it. Yeah, okay. And you'd be like, oh yeah, I'll just write the rest of it. Well, he tried and just couldn't keep up.
Yeah.
So, so your husband's also an actor?
That's right. Yeah, he's an actor. He does a lot of different things. He's a very talented multi-hyphenate. So yeah, he's an actor and a writer, director, producer, painter.
Yeah, did I see that he was directing or maybe writing a movie that you acted in?
Yeah, so there was a film that I guess it was a few years ago now called Downriver that he wrote and directed. And I acted in, and that was a big labor of love for us, especially for him because it was inspired by his late friend, Babs Chula. And so that was a wonderful film that he did and that we did together. And then recently he's working on a series. So right now there's a production company involved, and it's just a matter of figuring out, do we make this a half hour? Do we make it a bit less? It's that kind of thing. So, yeah.
Kind of fun. Fun. Is it, so if he's directing,
mm-hmm.
Do you pull rank on him at times, or do you just, you let him do his thing and then give him a hard time later?
No, it's true. Like, it's tricky because I remember, because that film, Downriver, was the first film that we actually really worked together on. And so we did kind of have to have that talk at the beginning of like, you have to treat me like the other actors, and I have to treat you as I would a director. Otherwise, it's just gonna.
I mean, did you ever disagree on set and then like have to talk to yourself and be like, nope, we got to let that go. We're home now.
No, because I thought he was always right. Don't tell
Oh, okay. I won't tell him. We'll
No,
cut that though.
no, usually when it comes to like art and creativity and story ideas and all that, he's almost always right, I would say.
Yeah.
In real life, and I've heard that's a different story.
Well, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So we, my wife and I, you know, when this podcast, I started this podcast with my son, and he does all the editing. He does all the hard stuff. I got the easy job. He's got his hard stuff. But when it started doing really well, we went out looking for a place for a studio. You know, and then what we found was a building that was loaded with apartments and businesses. So then, you know, my wife and I were like, well, let's try our hand at that. We'll just try renting that. We'll see how that goes. But then that we had to work together,
Right.
You know, and figure out who's going to handle what.
Yeah.
You know, who's going to do what. And she's, you know, she works for Live Nation, been doing that for decades. And, you know, so we had to kind of figure out that, and it took a little while, you know, us working together, which we thought, that'll be easy. We get along great. No problem. It's not that easy. You got to figure stuff out.
It's different, right? Because it's like, and then you're seeing each other at home too. So it's all like, it's
well, just, you know, the way she works, the way, and she's very creative, but the way she works, completely opposite of the way I work.
Right.
You need to figure that stuff out. So I was kind of curious with that, you know, is your process just different from his? And did that, you know, was there a learning curve, let's say?
Well, it didn't feel that way in that context because he was the director, I was the actor. It might be different if we were both acting in something, although we have acted in things together, and it's always been fun and fine. But we're I'm and he are still learning is when we're writing together. That's a bit more challenging.
Yeah, so you write too.
A little bit. I mean, you know, it's something I've always enjoyed doing, but he has way more experience than I do.
Yeah, but how great would it be to create something together?
Yeah. No, we're working on something together, but it's that I find different, right? Because then for sure my ego comes into it sometimes, right? And so it's it can be a bit trickier, a bit more like locking horns because you're also creating it. So you're still trying to come up with ideas. And so it's just like, well, I don't know if I like that idea, you know, that kind of thing. So
that's pretty, I think that's interesting, but like if I had to choose, I would choose working with my wife all the time.
Oh,
that's because I love, even with some of the difficulties.
Yeah.
I love it. Just because the rewards, you know, the positive benefits. So they outweigh the negative. I don't think everybody's like that, but
that's the brownie points for you.
I know. She never watches though. Well, she'll watch when I force her to watch. Like she's very supportive. She's always, you know, out there trying to help me do whatever she can to help me. But she's like, I talk to you all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to watch you, or I don't need to listen.
Your son can tell her when he edits it. He'll be like,
that's
you know
right.
what?
That's right.
You said. Yeah.
Well, and he's just like, he used to do the interviews with me, and he figured out that's not for him. He doesn't like being on camera. And I'd always tell him, I was like, well, do you listen to them after? Because I listen after, and that helps me. You know, I can figure out. I usually kind of critical on it. I figure out things I could have done. You know, what I missed.
So much more critical of ourselves. Yeah.
He can't stand to listen to himself, so he would never listen. But now, he has to now because he's editing.
Yeah.
He's forced to listen to me, which is probably torture.
But it's not himself, so he's probably less critical.
That's right. I think that was the problem. He just didn't like listening to himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I get that.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah.
It can be kind of tough. So does it help acting wise having another entertainment person, you know, in the house where you can practice scenes and ideas and stuff, bounce off each other, that type of stuff?
Majorly. It helps so much because it's like, plus he just understands what I'm doing, right? So if I'm, you know, I recently worked on the second season of a show called Traces in England.
Yeah.
So being away in the UK this time during the pandemic, with quarantine and stuff, we were apart for 4 months. So that was
that's
like,
too long.
that's way too long, right? Way too long. But thank God he understands what I do, and because he does the same, so it's just sometimes a part of what we have to do, right?
That's right.
So, but yeah, if I was married to like a dentist or something, they might not understand. It's like, but why did you do that?
Did you guys meet on a show?
We'd met through a few mutual friends and stuff. So we'd sort of always known of each other to begin with. I think most acting communities in different, wherever you are in the world, it tends to be pretty close knit. So even if you don't know someone directly, you know someone who knows that person. It's like 2 degrees of separation kind of thing,
Right.
So we knew who each other were, that kind of thing. And I used to work at this bookstore called Biz Books in Vancouver, which no longer exists. It's now online though.
Of course.
And he came into the bookstore one day because it specialized in film, theater, and television. And so he came into the bookstore one day and we had a nice chat and stuff. And so
very nice. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So I loved you on Van Helsing.
Oh, thank you.
I was very late. So I watched the first episode when it premiered.
Right.
And I was like, oh, that was okay. That wasn't too bad. But for whatever reason, I didn't keep going. So that was a couple years late, and then I kind of binged it and caught back up. It's a really good show.
Yeah.
But I thought you were terrific.
Oh, thank you.
Loved your part on that. Yeah, I enjoyed that. It was pretty good. That's why I said you've been on so many shows that fit kind of the nerdy, geeky, science fiction, fantasy category.
Yeah, no, we're just we've got the infrastructure here for it. We're all set up to do.
Well, and I'm forgetting. What am I forgetting? Oh, I am forgetting. Stargate Universe. I thought your character was terrific. I was very disappointed that show didn't get more.
Yeah, I know. We were all very attached to it, and I know, the people who really responded to it were really sad about that.
It was a really good cast.
Yeah, it really was.
And some of at that time, some of the cast maybe wasn't as well known, but over time, looking back, you're like, that was a good cast.
Yeah, no,
it was a talented cast.
Yeah, totally. It was just, I remember after we found out that it wasn't continuing, Robert Carlyle sent out an email to everyone, and I remember he put it so well. He said that it was such a special experience for him, and then he just said a good actor everywhere you looked,
Yeah,
and
that's right.
That was a good way of.
That's a really good way of saying it.
Yeah, because he was right. It was just and he was at the top of that, right? So, but yeah, great cast.
Yeah, I always wondered if they had tried that a few years later, would it have lasted longer? I don't know.
So hard to say, right? It's so hard.
I don't know.
Because it's also just part of that franchise, and my sense was just that because it was so different from the other 2 Stargates, that was part of, I think there were a number of different things working against it, which was, sad because it really was a great show. And but very different from the other 2. So I think that was.
I like that. I mean, Stargate had been on for so long. Yeah, it was nice. I thought having a different take on it.
Yeah.
I always thought Stargate did a good job of anytime another science fiction show that had done really well ended, those actors from that show would pop up on Stargate. I was like, somebody's calling them and saying, hey, they've already got a built-in fan base. Let's bring them
Get in here. Yeah, totally.
You were on another show I thought ended way too soon was Alcatraz, and you made at least an appearance on that one. That was from the Lost People. Yeah. And it had kind of a well, it was, let's see, it was that Abrams? Was that J.J. Abrams that did Alcatraz?
God, I've
forgotten.
No, but it was Bender was a big part of it, and he actually directed the episode that I did. But yeah, I should know if JJ.
It was, I know it's just been too long. I've forgotten,
Yeah.
but it was kind of had that mystery,
Yeah.
supernatural type of feel to it. And it, it ended way too soon. Which, if I remember right, I said supernatural. You were on it, but like two different characters.
Yeah, two different characters on that one. Yeah. Because I
Like
guess that's
years apart.
Yeah, when a show like almost 10 years apart, I think, because when a show goes that long, I guess they're gonna have to reuse actors,
Yeah. But as a fan, we can pick that out. We're like, hey, no.
Yeah, no, just crazy. And now
did they have a rule? Like, did you have to did a certain amount of time have to pass before you could come back on, or?
I don't think so, because I know other actors have shown up. I don't know if it's, I mean, it couldn't be in the same season, obviously, but maybe even the next season, or maybe there has to be a season in between. I'm not sure, but I know.
I guess if the role's different enough.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting, though.
Yeah.
Because there was such a gap, but that show was on forever.
Yeah. I don't know what the number is, but it's something like 16 seasons.
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah, it's crazy.
So
that's pretty good. I think that would be difficult if you were a star of a show that was on the air for 16 years. It would be difficult when it ended.
Yeah, I think so. I would think so too. I like Jared Padalecki, who is now on Walker, I guess, right?
Yes.
But yeah, like I wonder how he felt. I'm sure he was happy to be going to a new character, but yeah, I wonder how he felt at the end, if he was sad or if he was relieved. It's hard to say.
Well, yeah, and I just wonder if it'd be difficult, just because you're going to be so attached. People are going to look at you as that character from that show because it was on for so long. I would think that would be, I don't know, maybe it'd be a good thing. Maybe it would force you to take chances.
Yeah.
Try things that are, way different.
Totally different. Yeah. I mean, I would think that it would, you'd have a hankering at that point, right? To really
try something different.
Yeah.
I don't know. So the other one I wanted to mention, because I know we need to wrap up soon, was, and I haven't seen this one. You did a show called the Bletchley Circle. Did I get that right? San Francisco.
Cool. Yeah.
Which I'm going to watch it. I had Crystal Balent was on last week.
Oh, cool.
And she was also on that show. I at least wanted to bring up that you were on that. But that's one I'd like to see, because it had 2 seasons, maybe.
It just had one, but it was sort of an offshoot of the original,
right?
Which I think did have 2 seasons.
And it wasn't. Was that a BBC show?
I want to say it was. I think it was. But then Bletchley Circle San Francisco was BritBox, which is an offshoot of BBC.
Yeah.
And now it's on Netflix, I think, but probably also on BritBox.
Yeah, I've got BritBox, so I'll find it. I'm gonna watch that one. I was looking, I was like, I don't know that one. I had heard of the original series.
Yeah.
But I haven't watched it yet either. But I hear good things.
Yeah. Well, the original series was such a hit, and then they wanted to sort of make an American version, is kind of American. I shouldn't say that. That's not really fair to say. It was a merging of the two, really, because a lot of the original characters from the UK series came to San Francisco.
Came to that one.
So it was So it was a nice mesh.
So what Canadian show should I be watching?
You should be watching Family Law.
I knew you were going to say that, because, oh my Lord, everybody on that show is very recognizable.
Of course. Well, Jewel Staite.
Oh my gosh, what a
sci-fi royalty, right?
Yeah. I've talked to her a few times. Very nice. Nice. But it's
so cool, man. She's a really good person.
What's your role on Family Law?
I'm a lawyer, which I've always wanted to play. I'm dying to play a lawyer. So yeah.
Are you a defense attorney?
Well, we don't really call them that here in Canada.
Okay.
Kind of step a bit differently, right? So, but I'm always opposing her. I'm always on the wrong side, the other side. So yeah.
So where can I watch Family Law? Is it available here?
I don't think it's available in the States yet, but I'm sure it will be soon.
It will be.
Yeah.
Because it is loaded.
Yeah.
And I have talked to several different actors that have at least made an appearance on that. And I'm like, man, I got to watch this show. But yeah, so far I haven't been able to find it. So
yeah, no, I'm sure it'll come out to the US soon because it's doing so well here. We've already done 2 seasons, or not we, but I've done a couple episodes, but yeah, they've done 2 seasons of it already. And you know, I just think it's great. Like
we need a good lawyer show.
Yeah, totally. And that's the thing too, like there aren't that, you know, after The Good Wife, well, I guess there's The Good Fight.
The Good Fight's still on, and it's good. But it used to be, there was lawyer shows all over television, network TV. But I don't think there's as many now. At least
now it's more like cop, FBI.
Yeah, we need some lawyer shows.
Yeah, you're right. We do need more. Yeah.
Get on that.
I'll see what I can do.
See what you make a few phone calls. Well, Jen, thank you so much. This is I've looked forward to this interview for a long time. Thank you for doing it. You have to come back.
I would love to. Yeah.
Well, good. That's I would hope that would be the answer. Be like, I haven't run into anybody yet that said no. No, it's a one and done.
Yeah, no, not coming back.
Not really working for me. No. I think I would have a hard time not showing my disappointment. It would be right there.
Well, it would also be shocking.
It would really be shocking.
You being serious right now?
Yeah.
You were
like, I've had a few people on, and it's not very many because everybody's just really nice normally. But I've had a few where you could kind of tell they were done. Like maybe I'd went a little too long and they'd had enough. They were done. So I've had a few like that, but I've never had anybody just flat out say, "This was terrible. I'm not coming back." I kind of want one.
Just for the experience of what that
just for the experience. I don't know, because look, it would be rough in the moment, but looking back, it'd be hilarious.
What a story that would be, though, right?
There's I know. I would probably use that. I would use that clip.
Yeah.
Because people like that. They're like, "Oh, I got to check that out." That's
drama.
There's a little bar. You know, I'm in just a little town here in West Virginia. There's a little bar that's right next to the interstate, and I've never been in it. But their sign says "Home of the worst bologna sandwich," according to one guy on Yelp.
Oh my God!
And I'm like,
God!
And their place is always packed.
Yeah.
Because everybody probably in there checking that bologna sandwich out.
That is so funny. Like it just, you know, that goes to show you, it's like there's no bad advertising, right?
No.
That whole thing.
That's probably it.
Yeah, that's so fun. And just shows such a good sense of humor too, right? It's like, oh, I want to patronize that, but I want to be there. I
thought that was well done.
Yeah,
that was pretty good. Well, okay, so Jim, before you go, is there anything else that you have upcoming that we can kind of keep an eye out for?
Well, Traces, the show that I mentioned before. Yes. So that's that was shot in the UK, and that's very close to my heart. I really, really love that one so much.
What is Traces about?
It's a crime drama. It's character-driven crime drama.
Ooh, I would probably love it. That's my favorite type of show, is the character-driven
totally. That's what you want,
dramas.
Right? That's what you want. And the writing is just so good, and the actors are just, oh my God.
I got to find that one.
They're, you know, UK actors are just, they're
good.
They're just so
they're good.
They're just next level. But yeah, so we did, the first season's already out. The first season's been out for a while now. So that is on BritBox as well in the US. And then the second season, which we just shot, will be airing in the UK in February, I think. We don't have an exact date, but I think February. So the UK or US will probably get it a few months after that. So sometime next year.
I'll definitely be watching it. I picked up BritBox because they have a show called Line of Duty, I think is the name of the show.
And Martin Compston is also in Traces.
Oh, he is. Okay. Yeah, he's such a good actor.
Amazing.
The Line of Duty, one of my favorite shows. It's like 5-episode seasons. They're very short. But it's so good.
Like, UK shows are, that's it. It's like usually 6 episodes a season. So it's just like,
Yeah. So I'll definitely be watching Traces.
Yeah.
But I'm always looking, everybody is. You're always looking for something.
For the next new thing.
Good.
Oh God. Speaking of which, have you watched Maid yet? Maid on Netflix?
So my wife has watched it.
Yeah.
I was fussing at her because I was like, hey, once you figure out it's good, you're supposed to stop.
Yeah.
Wait for me. So I will be watching that.
It's amazing. And it was shot in Vancouver, or shot in Victoria, I should say. So Victoria is on Vancouver Island, so quite close to here. So
yeah. I'll definitely check that out. The one we just finished was, let's see, Midnight Mass.
Oh yeah. Oh, which Crystal is in.
Yeah.
So
and she's good in it.
Yeah, I can't wait to. I haven't watched it yet, but I can't wait to see it.
Oh my
Netflix
gosh.
shows are generally.
It's kind of a slow burn, but it pays off really good. It's really good, and it's short. It's like 7 episodes.
Oh really? Oh, I didn't realize it was that short. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and it's kind of a limited series, so it's it's she's really good in it.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. So so last thing, where can we find you on social media?
Oh yes, so Instagram, I'm still figuring out. I'm still kind of new to it, but my handle is the Jennifer Spence.
Oh, and, you got the.
I know, it's kind of pretentious or something. And then my Twitter one is @SpenceJen.
Oh, very nice.
So, very nice. But that's it. Are there other? Oh, I guess people have TikTok and all these.
I can't. So my son, he does TikTok, and so I'm on there, so I can see his nonsense. But I that's too much for me. It seems like a lot of work.
Yeah, because you're speaking of editing, you're editing stuff and you're filmmaking basically, right?
Yeah, basically. I mean, they're very short, but there seems like there's a lot of pre-production before you shoot. I don't know. I can't figure that one out. I'll stick with the, Facebook and Instagram, Twitter.
Yeah. Even that's unmanageable.
Yeah, I know. I'm dating myself. It was a big step for me to get on Instagram.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I know.
And forget about there's so many more. Forget about all those.
Yeah.
I mean, how many do you need?
Well, see, that's the thing, right? It's just like,
there's only so much time in the day, and they're all basically the same, basically.
And some people are just so good at it. Like they'll have different content on each thing and stuff. It's like, oh my God.
It's impressive. It's a talent, I think.
It is, or you need a manager or something. You need like a devoted person to that job, to do that, because it
seems like a lot, but I guess people have that. People are probably making careers out of that.
Yeah, content builders.
Yeah.
Whatever it's called, right?
Oh. Well, Jen, thank you so much, and please do come back.
I would love to.
Yeah. The next when you and your husband Ben, right? Ben's his name.
Yes.
When you write something together, you both have to come.
Oh, that'd be lovely.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, for sure.
That'd be fun.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
I'll
thank you so much, Jen. Hold on one second.
You.
You're so welcome. All right, so that was the talented and just so nice Jennifer Spence. That was a fun one for me. I really have been a fan of hers for such a long time. She pops up in so many good shows. She's just a wonderful actress. I love her. She gives a lot without saying anything. I love the way she can convey emotion, just with different expressions, and just so good, and such a good actress. Can't wait to see Family Law. I'm looking forward to that one. I'm definitely going to check out Traces. Thank you guys for tuning in again this week. Really appreciate that. Hope you enjoyed that one. We are closing in on our 300th episode. Like, we're really, really close. It should just be a few more. You could help us out if you would go to our YouTube channel, MeisterCon Pod, and subscribe. We would really appreciate that. You can also find all 300 episodes on our website, meistercon.com, audio and video. You can find out if we're working any conventions, what we have going on at the studio. And there's a really great, geeky, fun blog from Brett that's just really, he's such a good writer. He's so talented. So I know you'll enjoy that. So definitely check that out. So thanks to Jen. Thanks to you guys. Until next time. Bye, everybody.